Hello and welcome to P-Tech, and this video is all about having a look at the Pixel 3a, and I've got mine here and it's a real world battery test, so I'm just going to do a couple of things throughout the day. I've got a couple of tasks to run. Firstly is going to the gym, which is over there, but a couple of tasks just to see how the battery holds up in a real world live test, I suppose. So far I've just done a couple of things like Twitter, Facebook, emails, a bit of YouTube as well, and I took the phone off charge at 9 o'clock and it was on 100%. It is now about 10:30 and it is on 90%. So unwillingly, I'm going to start at the gym, which is there, and then we'll see kind of how it holds up throughout the day. Okay, the gym is done, I've showered, I've sent some things back to Amazon as well, and before I get started I basically just wanted to mention about the design of the Pixel 3a. It's not that too dissimilar to that of the Pixel, and there aren't any noticeable differences really besides the fact it's made out of polycarbonate, or what Google call plastic. They both have the same matte finish, so they've got the glossy top and then the matte back as well, and at a glance I think that the Pixel 3a and the Pixel, the regular one, look pretty much exactly the same, but the only difference is between them is that obviously there's no wireless charging on the Pixel 3a, as you do get that on the regular Pixel. The only other thing to note really is the bezels on the 3a, and you tend to get that with Pixel phones. Now you either get ridiculously ugly notches like you did on the 3XL, or you end up just getting these massively big bezels, and I know which one I would rather pick. I'd rather have the bezels over the horrible notch on the 3. It's almost 1 o'clock and the battery at the moment on the Pixel is 77%, which is not too bad. In the gym I watched a couple of videos, listened to some podcasts, and I also did a little bit of Spotify as well. But now I've got to go and do a little bit of shopping, which I absolutely hate because I've got to go and do it for someone's birthday, but then I'll check back in and tell you what the battery's like in a couple of hours time. I just thought I'd test out what the front-facing camera looks like as I'm out and about, and it doesn't look too bad. Okay, shopping all done. It is almost, what time is it? Almost 5 o'clock now, and the phone is on 45% still, which I think is pretty good. I've used it quite heavily in town actually. I stopped and had some food at some point, and I used it pretty much the entire time there, just showing people funny videos on YouTube. But I've got a couple more things to do today before the test is over. I'm going to take some nighttime shots as well and show you what it's like with night sight, because you've seen some of the daytime photography, but you've not seen anything that this phone can do yet at night. Before I finish in town, I should probably talk to you about the way the camera is. Now, it is the exact same camera that is on the Pixel 3s and the 3XLs, and it's a good camera. For me now, it probably is one of the best cameras on the market, especially at the £400 price point. Obviously, there's a few things that you miss out with it being the cheaper models, so photos take a little bit longer to process, especially when you're using HDR. It just takes that little bit of time to process. The rear-facing camera does 4K video, which is pretty nice. It handles it pretty well, and the front-facing camera is 1080. Also, you get the portrait mode on this camera as well, and I think it's probably better than the iPhone 10s or the Samsung Galaxy S10s. For the £400 price tag, you might experience a little bit less quality in the phone, and I've experienced that a couple of times today, especially with certain apps just freezing and not working, having to reset the phone. And I've only had this about 3 or 4 days, but apps are doing that already. So when it gets to 3 years down the line, where there's support for it, like Google have said, what will it be like then? The Pixel 3s and the Pixel 3 XL struggle sometimes, even at this point, about 9 months on, with keeping up and being nice and fresh. But if the 3A is doing it after a couple of days, then I've got no idea what it's going to be like in about 3 years' time. Besides the messages app freezing, it's been pretty fluid going through Instagram and Twitter and all of the regular stuff that you expect. I'm pretty impressed with the phone so far, with the battery especially. 20% at 10 past 10, and I've done a load of stuff with 4K video and a load of things with slow-mo video as well throughout the day. But while we've still got some battery left, let's go and do a little bit of night sight photography. Okay, I'm finally home. It's just gone past midnight and the phone battery is on 7%, so it's lasted pretty well. And I've done a lot with it today. I've done a lot of night shots, which you've just seen. I've done a lot of video as well. It's been kind of put throughout this video itself. And that battery, even though it's not huge, has shaped up good in a day-to-day usage. If there's one thing that I wanted from using this phone for a full day was I didn't want to like it. I wanted to not like it because I'm a big fan of the Galaxy S10 Plus, which I've mentioned earlier on is my daily phone, and that is double the price of this. But Google have made this phone hard to not like. Yes, they've cut corners. It's made out of polycarbonate and there's no wireless charging, and also there's no water resistance on this phone as well. But everything else works really well. There are a few downsides to using this phone and it only being £400. First of all is that yes, it can be a bit slow. I mentioned it earlier on that a few of my apps were a little bit laggy, and also it's not very good in bright sunlight, really, the screen brightness. So I've had it at full brightness all day, and when it's incredibly sunny like it has been today, it makes it quite difficult to see the screen. But I definitely would recommend this to someone who's not looking to buy a flagship phone and doesn't have a huge amount of money, because why wouldn't I? The amount of stuff you get with the phone for the price still is incredible. And the big thing, the big draw, which I think will bring in a lot of people, is going to be that camera. It's brilliant. So my overall view of the 3A after using it for 24 hours is that, are there better phones on the market? Yes. Are there worse phones on the market? Of course there are. But if someone said to me tomorrow, I have £400 and I want to buy a brand new phone, what do I suggest? I would suggest this, the Pixel 3A. Well, thank you for watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel if you want to, and also give this video a like. That would really help. And let me know what you think of the Pixel 3A. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Have you got one? Have you not? Put all of that in the comments below.